We continue with section formula, page 148, classwork sum number 11. Mark that sum is very important. This sum will be asked in either my test or in the school test or in some prelim exam, it would be there. So mark this as a very important sum. Now in this case you have PQ as the two fixed endpoints of the segment PQ. P is minus 5, 6 and Q is 3, minus 4. So now you're not directly given the ratio in which A divides PQ. You're told that point A will lie on PQ, says that 5 AP is 3 PQ, and that PQ is divided into 5 equal parts with A lying between P and Q. So AP upon PQ, if you bring below AP, if you bring PQ, then 5 will go below 3. So AP upon PQ is 3 upon 5, which means that if AP is 3 parts, then PQ is the full 5 parts. What was given in the sum? It was told that the PQ is divided into 5 equal parts. So this would be 1, 2, 3 parts, 3 equal parts, and 4 and 5. Now where is A? We will get A from this. AP is 3 parts and the entire length PQ is 5 parts, which means point A is at a distance of 3 units from P, then it will be at a distance of 2 units from Q. So that's what is mentioned here. This you need not write it in your exam. You just have to write AP is 3 parts and PQ is 3 parts. Therefore the ratio is not 3:5. It is not 3:5. Please understand, the entire thing is 5. This full PQ is given as 5. So since AP is 3 and PQ the full thing is 5, so AQ will be 5 minus 3, that is 2 parts. So you have to find not AP upon PQ, but you have to see what is M is to N. That is AP is to AQ. You have to find that. That makes the sum important. So point A divides segment PQ in the ratio 3:2. That point, that ratio, not 3:5. So then it is simple and it is the same thing. Bisection formula. Because this point A divides PQ in the ratio 3:2. So you use the section formula, substitute the values. So you will get this point X is M x2 plus N x1 upon M plus N. So 3 into 3, 9. And 2 into minus 5, that is minus 10. So 9 minus 10 upon 3 plus 2, that is 5. So minus 1 by 5. Then you have y coordinate will be M y2 plus N y1 upon M plus N. So it will be 3 into minus 4 plus 2 into 6 upon 3 plus 2. So minus 12 plus 12 upon 5. So that is 0. So point A is minus 1 by 5 comma 0. So you not only write it as a ratio, but you also write it in decimals so that no teacher will minus marks. Sometimes we have seen that if you leave it like this, most teachers will give you full marks for that. Some teacher will say that you have to write it in decimals, and in boards there is a rule that you have to write the answer in decimals, so write it in both and don't forget the minus sign. The 12th question is extremely simple. You are given 3 vertices of a triangle ABC. You know A is 4, 1, that is x1, y1, B is minus 2, minus 3, that is x2, y2, and C is 6, 7, that is x3, y3. So you know the 3 vertices. You are asked the centroid, direct centroid formula. Centroid is what? It is also point of intersection of the medians. So you can directly use centroid formula and write 4 plus minus 2 plus 6, that is 8 by 3. Or 2.67, and your y coordinate of centroid will be y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. So 1 minus 3 plus 7, so that is 5 by 3 or 1.67. So the centroid is 8 by 3 and 5 by 3. That is 2.67 or 1.67. So that is the centroid of triangle ABC. So we will continue with the next sum. So now the next sum, that is question 13. Again the same like 12 itself, only the thing, instead of directly giving you find the coordinates of the centroid, they have asked you to find the coordinates of the point of intersection of medians. Point of intersection of medians is centroid, just write that and directly find. You know x1, x2 and x3, minus 2, 6 and 4, y1, y2 and y3 is 3, 7 and 1. And let g, xy be the centroid of the triangle. So centroid formula, x is x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3 and y is y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. So you have minus 2 plus 6 plus 4, that is 8 by 3 or 2.67, and y you will have 3 plus 7 plus 1, that is 11 upon 3 or 3.67. So 2.67 and 3.67 are the coordinates of the centroid. So write it both in fractions and in decimals. Now the next sum, mark it important. Important because it's slightly different, it's simple. You are given that P is the midpoint of AB. Now you have to look at the figure and see that point A lies on the x-axis. Because A lies on x-axis, its y-coordinate will be 0. So y-coordinate is 0, x-coordinate, let it be x, we don't know, we have to find. And since point B is on y-axis, so its x-coordinate will be 0. So since point B's x-coordinate is 0, therefore we will say point B is 0, y. So this we have already come across earlier also in many sums, that if any point lies on x-axis, y-coordinate will be 0. And if any point lies on the y-axis, its x-coordinate or abscissa will be 0. So B will be 0y and A will be x0. Now from that, once you have written that, you have to use midpoint formula. So we will say that minus 3 is x plus 0 upon 2. So therefore when you cross multiply, x is minus 6. So therefore x will help you find point A. Point A is minus 6, 0. And you will get that the second point, 5, is 0 plus y upon 2, or y is 10. So therefore point B is 0, 10. Point B is 0, 10. So that's how you find the coordinates of A and B. You are not finding P, P is already given. You are asked A and B. So don't write just x and y. You have to write after you find x and y that A is x0, so it is minus 6, 0. And B is 0y, so it is actually 0, 10. So that's how you find the coordinates of A and B. Even that sum could come for 3 months. So now question 15. See, generally in the board, this has never been asked in the board exam, and I assume it will never be asked in the board exam, but because it's extremely lengthy, you have to make 6 equations and find the 6 unknowns. It is generally not asked in any class or school test, but it is there in one of the textbooks, so I have included it. It's a very simple sum, but it is lengthy. Now you are given that PQR are 3 midpoints of triangle ABC. P minus 2, 5 is midpoint of AB. Q 2, 4 is midpoint of BC. And R minus 1, 2 is midpoint of AC. So you know that PQR are midpoints of AB, BC and AC. So basically you are going to use midpoint theorem formula only, not midpoint theorem. Midpoint formula itself. And you are supposed to find x1, y1, that is coordinates of A, x2, y2, that is coordinates of B, and x3, y3, that is coordinates of C. Now since P is midpoint of AB, so you can say minus 2 is x1 plus x2 upon 2. So x1 plus x2 will be minus 4. Same way 5 is y1 plus y2 upon 2. So y1 plus y2 is 10. So you got equation 1 and equation 2 by using AB. Similarly, you will get x2 plus x3 is 2 into 2. So x2 plus x3 is 4. And y2 plus y3 upon 2 is 4. So y2 plus y3 is 8. That is equation 3 and 4. Same way, since point R is midpoint of AB, x1 plus x3 upon 2 is minus 1. So x1 plus x3 is minus 2. And y1 plus y3 upon 2 is 2. So y1 plus y3 is 4. So that gives you expression 5 and 6. So totally now you have got 6 equations and there are 2, 2 and 2, 6 unknowns. So now you have to solve them simultaneously. So that's why I told you, since there are so many unknowns, such questions are not asked on the board. Some schools, like some of them, very few, sometimes ask such questions. So now we have to solve 1, 3 and 5 to get 3 unknowns, x1, x2, x3. So first I can write x1 is minus 4 minus x2. And then this form of x1 I am using substitution method of simultaneous equation, and this x1 I am going to substitute it in equation number where there is another x1, in which equation there is x1, that is equation 5. So instead of x1 I am going to write minus 4 minus x2. So minus 4 minus x2 plus x3 is minus 2. So from that I can say minus x2 plus x3 is equal to, it will become 2, because minus 4 going there will become plus 4, minus 2 plus 4 is plus 2. So now this is equation number 7. After 6 you have given that as number 7. This you did from equation 1, you substituted x1 as minus 4 minus x2 and substituted that x1 in equation 5. So then you already have equation 3, that is x2 plus x3 is 4. So now this is 2 equations with 2 unknowns, so we solve them simultaneously. We add the 2 equations, so this becomes 0. This becomes x3 plus x3, that is 2x3, and this is 6. So x3 will be 3. So now that you've got x3, you can substitute that in equation 5 and find x1. Or once you got x3, you can substitute it in equation 2 and you can find x2. So you will get x2 plus 3 is 4, so x2 is 1, and then that x2 you can substitute in equation 1. So x1 plus 1 is minus 4, so x1 is minus 5. So you have now got x1, x2 and x3. Now to get the y coordinates, y1, y2, y3, you have to solve equation 2, 4 and 6. So in 2 you can say, in equation number 2 you can say y1 is 10 minus y2. So you are writing y1 is 10 minus y2, and this y1, now I will substitute it in equation 6. So 10 minus y2 plus y3 is equal to 4. So this gives me minus y3 plus minus y2 plus y3 is 4 minus 10 on the other side. So it is minus 6. Minus y2 plus y3 is minus 6. And the other equation which has y2 and y3, that is equation number 4. That is equal to 8. So these two equations I add, this becomes 0, this is 2y3 and this is 2, so y3 is 1. So now y3 is 1, so I can substitute y3 is 1, so y2 will be 7. And then I can substitute y2 is 7 in equation 1, in equation 2, and get y1 is 3. Now you have got all the 6 unknowns. After that you have to write A is x1, y1. Your x1 you had found there, minus 5, and y1 is 3. B is x2, y2, so 1, and y2 is 7. And C is x3, y3, so x3 is 3, and y3 is 1. So those are the coordinates of triangle ABC. This sum I will not ask in my test, and I do not expect any of the schools also to ask, neither would it generally come for the board, but some schools can ask in a term exam. So just you should know the method and how you got it. So question 16, mark it very important. Such question has been asked. Now question 15 you can ignore it. I told you I won't ask it. Most of the schools, Bombay Scottish and Gopal Sharma generally never ask such lengthy questions. So, but there are such questions in textbooks. So that's why if you do what I am teaching you in Anish tutorial textbook, classwork, homework thoroughly, then you can score full 100 on 100. There is no need to refer any other book. Whatever extra is required and all, when we do revision, we will do. But this much classwork, homework, if you do it thoroughly, there is no need to refer anything else at all. So now here, in question 16, you have been given 3 vertices, A, B and D of a parallelogram. Now, the vertices of C are not known. You are asked to find it. So, such sum is very important. It has been asked in the boards. So now first thing you should understand is you can't name the parallelogram as A, B, D and C. You have to name it in proper sequence A, B, C and then D. Please make sure about that. It is named A, B, C and D. If you name it D here and C there wrong, full sum goes wrong. First step itself 0. So you can name it A, B, C and D like this. But it should be in sequence. A, B, C, D or A, B, C, D. But it can't be A, B, D, C. So now we are simplest method of doing it. Don't try to do it with opposite sides are equal. Very lengthy and don't land up with answers there. Easiest method to do it if it is any quadrilateral of parallelogram family. What do you mean by parallelogram family? In 9th standard you did parallelogram at the top, after that rectangle, rhombus and square. So rectangle, rhombus and square are descendants of the parallelogram family. Why? Because rectangle, rhombus and square has all the properties of parallelogram plus few extra properties. So you can say that every rectangle is a parallelogram, every rhombus is a parallelogram and every square is a parallelogram. So you can say that. So they all belong to the parallelogram family. So remember the property that the diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. That means P x comma y is midpoint of diagonal AC and P x comma y is also midpoint of diagonal BD. No one said that the two diagonals are equal. All that is told is P is midpoint of AC. So AP and PC are same. And P is midpoint of BD. So BP and DP are same. They are equal in length. So now since you know B and D, I can use midpoint formula and easily find what is X and Y. So I can say that X is 6 plus 8 upon 2. So 14 by 2 or 7. And I can say that Y is minus 2 plus 2 upon 2. So it is 0 by 2, that is 0. So I have first only found P. P is 7, 0. Point P is 7, 0. Now I am going to use P, since I have already found P, I am going to use P as midpoint of AC. Now since P is midpoint of AC, therefore we have this 7. The 7 which you just found P x coordinate, that 7 is equal to 14 plus x3 upon 2, because P is now midpoint of AC. So you get 14 is 14 plus x3 or x3 is 14 minus 14, that is 0. So we have found x3. Same way y is midpoint, this P is midpoint of AC. So y will be minus 2 plus y3 which is 0. Minus 2 plus y3 upon 2 is 0. Because your y coordinate you have already found of P, that is 0. So 0 is minus 2 plus y3 upon 2. 0 into any number is 0 only. So minus 2 plus y3, or y3 is, you can shift the 2 here, so y3 is 2. So you found x3, y3. So x3, y3 is coordinates of point C. So x3, y3 is 0, 2. That is what is asked. Now whether they write parallelogram, rectangle, square or rhombus, we will always use the same property to find the unknown coordinate. That is, diagonals of all of them bisect each other. So this is your sum number 17. Very similar, identical to sum number 16. Here you are given a rectangle, 3 coordinates are known, 1 coordinate is unknown. Again you have to name it in sequence PQ, RS, you can't name it as PQ, SR. P, Q, then R, then S. R is the unknown, X3, Y3. So now here let R be X3, Y3, and the rectangle belongs to the parallelogram family itself, so diagonals of rectangle bisect. Obviously in rectangle both the diagonals are equal, so instead of showing 2 lines and 1 line, you can even show it 2 lines and 2 lines, because all the 4 parts will be equal. But that is not necessary for this question. So it is quite similar to the previous question. First we know Q and S. So we know 6 minus 3, and we can use midpoint formula for QS. A is midpoint of QS. So you will get 6 plus minus 3 upon 2 is equal to X. So that is 3 upon 2 or 1.5. So you got X as 1.5, and 2 plus minus 1 upon 2 is your Y coordinate. So 2 minus 1 upon 2, so that is half or 0.5. So point A is 1.5, 0.5. So point A is 1.5, 0.5. So now that you have found A, that is midpoint of QS, you can use the same logic that QA is midpoint of PR. So you have 0 plus x3 upon 2 will be the x coordinate which you have found, that is 1.5. So 1.5 into 2 is 3, 3 is x3. So x3 is 3. Now same way you can find y. Y you can say, you can take y1 plus y3 upon 2 is y. So your 0.5 is minus 4 plus y3 upon 2. So 0.5 into 2 is 1. So 1 plus 4, that is 5, is y3. y3 is 5. So your point R is x3, y3, that is 3, 5. Your asked point R, so don't leave it as x3, y3, you have to write R is 3, 5. So we'll go on to the next, which is the last sum of this chapter, and then the homework questions. Yeah, now the last sum. This is a straightforward sum. There is AP is to PB ratio is given 2 is to 3. So point P lies on the segment AB. So you know P, you know A, you are asked to find B. So directly use section formula. In this you will get X is mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. So 2 into x2 plus 3 into 3 upon 2 plus 3 will give you 1. So when you solve it, you get x2 is equal to minus 2. So this point x2 is minus 2. And then you have, so you can name that point itself, instead of calling it as x and y, you can call this as x2, y2. And we can say that let B be x2, y2 in this case. You can take it as x2, y2 because that is a part of the section formula. And same way you can say that this y is m y2 plus n y1 upon m plus n. So minus 2 is 2 into y2, 2 into y2 plus 3 into y1, that is minus 6 upon 2 plus 3. So when you multiply 5 with minus 2 is minus 10. 2y2 minus 18. So minus 18 on this side will become plus 18. So it becomes 8 upon 2. y2 is 4. So x2, y2 is point B. So point B is minus 2, 4. So don't leave it as x2, y2, write it as point B because that is asked. Now your homework for Monday, that is next Monday, 1st June. So page 150, you have got 8 sums, question 9 to question 16. I've seen all of them are very simple. I've written hints what you can use. For example, you know by now that if a point is on y-axis, x-coordinate or abscissa is 0. If a point is on x-axis, then the y-coordinate or ordinate is 0. That you know. The last sum, 16th sum of the homework, you refer classwork question 11. So in that question you are given AP is to AB is 2:5. And you have said P is a point on AB. So P is a point on AB says that AP is to, the entire thing AB is 2:5. So the ratio is not 2:5, the ratio will be 2:3 because BP will be 5 minus 2, that is 3 parts. So you will take MS2 and MS3 and then use section formula and do that sum. So mark the last homework sum as very important. It is similar to question number 11 of classwork and the ratio is not actually 2/5. From that 2/5, because AB is 5 parts and AP is 2 parts, so your BP will be the entire 5 minus 2, that is 3. So the ratio MS/N will be 2:3. So you can copy all this down in your notebooks and the next set of videos will come to you mostly on Monday. So this homework is for Monday. Monday evening, mostly the next set of videos will be uploaded.